When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pro cyclist.
Life was simple, race bikes. So I rode a lot. I rode every single day.
I wanted the jersey with all the different sponsors on it. I wanted a car company on my arse, washing up liquid on my shoulders, and Quickstep written large here on my chest. Yeah, I was the only 8-year-old who knew that Quickstep was a luxury laminate flooring company. I wanted the yellow jersey and the matching shorts, drink cappuccinos in Milan before riding into San Remo with my hands in the air.
Look behind into my rival's eyes as I effortlessly danced away up a mountain, leaving them in my dust.
I practiced how to wear the cap of my heroes in the mirror. Oh, this way, yeah, that way. A bit of left, nice.
I washed my bike even when it was clean, and some evenings I used to just sit and stare at it.
Yeah, I also practiced how I'd celebrate when I won the Tour de France. I shaved my legs whilst I was still at school. I didn't know what I was doing or quite how to do it, but this was one step on the ladder to glory, even if my friends did laugh at me on the rugby pitch. Mind out! My dad drove me to any race we could find, and I think that was my biggest piece of luck, having a dad that supported my passions no matter what they'd be. And I remember he actually covered for me once when I crashed in a race because Mum would have been livid. He said we were stuck in traffic when really we were in the hospital getting bandaged up. We were in trouble then, Jesse, when Mum found out about that one. I wanted to leave school, forget about my exams and move to Belgium. Mum thought it was a stupid idea to throw away my education and wouldn't let me, which was a very good piece of advice. Instead, I moved to Belgium at 19 and studied for a degree remotely because you don't need to sacrifice education to be a pro cyclist, and because sometimes cycling just doesn't work out.
Power, watts, numbers, heart rate. None of it mattered. The most important thing was to figure out how to cook pasta and ride on a dirty road in Belgium whilst a 50-mile-an-hour crosswind blew in from the side whilst a big Dutch fella absolutely drilled it on the front.
Holy shit, my legs hurt thinking about it.
I realised I wasn't here for the cappuccinos, the hats and the legs as smooth as silk. I was here for cycling, and I loved it. The exhaustion, the challenge, the history, the racing. I was hooked.
Line and sinker. That was the only real reason I wanted to be a pro cyclist.
I moved to Belgium for 5 years riding for amateur teams, hoping, praying that one day I'd get my chance. I definitely couldn't ride up the Koppenberg like Peter Sagan. Actually, I quickly found I'd be dropped on most climbs. I still can't pull a wheelie. Most of the time I spent my hands in the air was looking for a spare wheel in a race. In fact, I didn't get my hands in the air much at all for winning. Bad luck strikes hard when you're racing in Belgium. But I did my best to persevere because, well, you need to be in it to win it, and a small chance is better than no chance.
Life is like riding a bicycle. To find your balance, you must keep moving.
Racing in Belgium for all those years was a journey and adventure I feel incredibly fortunate enough to have experienced. Then suddenly I found myself on the Vuelta a España start line, thinking, whoa, how on earth did I end up here?
I still don't really know, to be honest. I wasn't particularly good and I finished in last place, but it was what I'd always wanted. And if you are thinking of doing the same, then I guess I could give you a few pieces of advice. Not that you should listen to me, but
race because you love it, not because your friends love it, or your brother thought you'd be good at it, or your auntie's cousin's vet down the road thought you'd make a great cyclist. Do it because you love it. If you are so sure of this, so sure that you ride over 200 kilometers in the pouring rain, run out of energy, money, puncture, ride the rim home, then get back and say, that was the best ride ever. Wow.
Then you're halfway to turning pro already. Next, you need to
race, race, race. Take any opportunity you can get. Don't be afraid to lose, to experiment, to push yourself beyond the limits you thought you had, because those limits are undefined. But most importantly, have fun, enjoy it. Then you turn around at the end of it all, whether you turned pro or you didn't, at least you can say,
that was the time of my life. Now, let's go for a bike ride.